All right, Nathan here, Inside Sports. It's time for NFL Week 16. Week 15 did all right. Won some, lost some. The favorites ended up winning every single game. However, that does not mean they all covered the spread. Um, we ended up a little bit ahead. I believe I went, I want to say 10-6 against the spread. Pretty solid. But I think we can do better. Any case, for this week, week 16, we've got some really exciting games and some not so exciting games. People are positioning for the playoffs, playing for glory, playing for first pick in the draft. So let's just run through it, and I'll tell you who I think is going to win and cover the spread. So, first game, we've got Indianapolis at Baltimore on Saturday. Baltimore is making a strong push for the playoffs. Indianapolis has looked really terrible. Spread right now is at 13.5 points. That's kind of a lot, but I really feel that Baltimore is a very solid team. The offense is playing better. Defense is outstanding. Indianapolis has been scoring like 10 points a game. They've been very disappointing. I'm taking Baltimore minus 13.5 points at home. Over under is 41. It's really tough. Both these teams are not barn burners. This game is probably going to finish very close to 41 points. My first impression was to go over, but if Indianapolis does not find a way to score, and this could be very. You know what? I wanted to say under, but I'm gonna go over. I think Baltimore's just gonna blow them out. The score. It's gonna be like 34-10. It's gonna just barely go over. So we're sticking with 41 over. All right, next game. Stick with the first impressions. Like that's what I was thinking. We're gonna run with it. Minnesota at Green Bay, hated division rivals. Aaron Rodgers done for the season. So Green Bay doesn't have a lot to play for here other than pride and for their home fans. Minnesota's favored by 9 points. That's kind of a lot, but they're making a push for the playoffs, for a top seed, for first round bye. We're going with Minnesota -9 on the road at Green Bay. I know, crazy, but Aaron Rodgers really makes that much of a difference. And over under is 40.5. I think this game's going to be reasonably high scoring. I think it's going to go over 40.5 points. We're going over. So those are the Saturday games. Now we've got Sunday. Detroit at Cincinnati. Detroit is also trying to make a push for the playoffs. Cincinnati, I don't know what to think. They said Marvin Lewis, who's been coaching for 15 years, may not come back next year. So I don't know if the players are going to respond saying, hey, we like him, we want to play hard, or they don't care, and they're going to tank the rest of the season because they know they don't have to impress the coach anymore. So I'm going with Detroit, -4.5 on the road. They're trying to make a push for the playoffs. I think they're going to play hard, everything they can to win. I know it's tough to take a road team that many points, but I think they can do it. Yeah, that's my leg. Over under 43.5. They're going over. Detroit's if they're gonna win, they're gonna try to score lots of points. And Cincinnati's at home. I think they can score a few touchdowns. All right, next we got LA Chargers at the New York Jets. The New York Jets may very well be the best, worst team in football right now. They're actually a solid team, even with Bryce Petty. They covered the spread against the Saints on the road in New Orleans. And the Saints have a decent defense and an outstanding offense, and the Jets hung with them. With a backup quarterback. The Chargers had a devastating loss last week. I mean, they're not out of it, but it's kind of a must-win for them. But I don't think the Jets. They're not going to lay down, and they're at home. I'm taking the Jets. If you can get them at 7 points, I would definitely take the Jets. It's 6.5. I'm not super excited, but we're still taking the Jets. Plus 6.5. Over under is 42.5. We're going over. It's going to be back and forth, high scoring. I think either the Jets squeak it out or they're going to lose close. All right, next we got the LA Rams at Tennessee. Tennessee was 8-4. Now they're 8-6. They are slumping. Their road trip against NFC West, not going over so well. Um, Luckily, they get to go home. Tennessee is a pretty good defense, but the LA Rams, they look legit. I mean, they went into Seattle, absolutely dominated Seattle. And I think Tennessee is not as good as Seattle. Now, granted, yes, I mean, it was a little bit of a fluke to blow out Seattle that much, of course. But I still think the Rams are very good. They also want a number one seed, try to get a bye. They're going to be playing hard. So we're taking the Rams, -6.5 on the road, and the over-under is 47.5. Both defenses are actually pretty solid. Tennessee has a pretty good run defense, and Todd Gurley is, I think what had 3 touchdowns last week, rushing, and then maybe one receiving. Tennessee may be able to slow him down, and if that's the case, then the score is going to be a little bit lower scoring. We're going to take the under 47.5 points. All right, next we got Cleveland at Chicago. I really don't want to pick any of these teams. Chicago's awful. Cleveland hasn't won. Who wants to win this game? I'm leaning toward Chicago reluctantly, but I'm just going to pick Cleveland. +6.5. They got to win one. They only got 2 games left. They've got to win a game, and if they're going to win, it's going to be this one against Chicago. So, Cleveland, +6.5. If you're feeling, I don't know, feeling like you want to gamble a little bit, play the money line. Over-under's 38. Oh, I think they'll be lucky if they scored 17 points. We're going to take the under of 38 points. I know, crazy, right? All right, Tampa Bay at Carolina. Tampa Bay played Atlanta. Very close, almost tied it, almost sent it to overtime. Granted, that wasn't Tampa Bay. On the road, Tampa Bay is awful. It's just absolutely awful. Their defense is terrible. But, because they're down so much, that, they pass the ball. They can actually move the ball pretty well on offense. So, it's a tough call. Carolina should win this one by like 2 to 3 touchdowns. But there's always a chance Tampa Bay scores a garbage time touchdown in the last few minutes, keeps it within 10. So we're taking Tampa Bay +10. But if you really want to take the right play, you want to take the over of 46.5. You heard it here first. Tampa Bay's got a terrible defense on the road. Carolina's going to score points. Tampa Bay can actually sling it. This game's going over 46.5. All right, next we got Atlanta at New Orleans. All right, this is a tough call. Statistically, I think New Orleans is just the better team all around. Solid. Atlanta, though, they're really, really trying to get in the playoffs. They're fighting hard. They're pretty evenly matched. They hate each other. I think last time they played, New Orleans head coach did like some choking sign to Devontae Freeman, Sean Payton. So there's some bad blood there. I think both teams will want to beat each other really, really bad if possible. So, it's going to be close. A close game. I think I have to take Atlanta. I kind of don't want to. I just think New Orleans is statistically a better team. But I'm taking Atlanta because of the division rivalry. They know each other well. I just think it's going to be a close game. Atlanta has been playing better the second half of the season. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be back and forth. And that's what it is. Over and under is 52.5. Let's see. Both of these teams have pretty decent offenses. That's a lot of points. I took the under earlier when I was thinking about this. Do I stick with the under just like I did last time? We'll stick with the under. 52.5. We'll stick with it. Don't change horses midstream. 52.5 under. Atlanta +5.5. Hopefully you get +6 still, but it is what it is. All right, Denver at Washington. Again, I cannot pick with or against Washington to save my life. Denver won their last 2 games. They've been playing well. Lost Trevor Seaman, no problem. Next quarterback up, uh, win games. Doesn't matter. Defense is playing better. I think partly because offense is more consistent. I don't know what it is. They figured something happened. I guess they decided to win 2 at the beginning, win 2 at the end. It doesn't matter because whatever I pick is gonna be wrong. We're taking Denver plus 3.5 points. I like their defense. Washington's been scoring less points. Washington's defense is actually pretty good too. We're gonna take the under 40.5 points in Washington, or sorry, in Denver plus 3.5. Excuse me. All right, but hey, don't blame me if I get this one wrong. All right, picks guaranteed or your money back. But again, that's because it's free, as always. All right, next pick we've got Miami at Kansas City. Kansas City looked very good against the Chargers, but the Chargers played like crap. I mean, they really did. I don't know what they were doing. They did not look like the Chargers the last few weeks. Miami kind of played like crap, but came back, made it with 1 score, 8 points against Buffalo on the road. Kept it close. The garbage time onside kick almost got there. We're going to take the points. We're going to take Miami plus 10.5 on the road at Kansas City. Over under is 43.5. What did I take before? I took the over. It's going to be a high scoring game, boys and girls, and others who do not identify as a boy or a girl. Do not want to exclude anyone. So, taking the over 43.5 points. Next, we got Buffalo at New England. I mean, New England are the Patriots. They always find a way to win. Buffalo, they are in the 6th spot right now to make the playoffs. If they can just win 2 more games, they will be in the playoffs. They control their own destiny. What will happen? I mean, most likely, New England's going to win by 30. But they're division rivals. Buffalo's going to try as hard as they can for whatever it's worth. We got to take Buffalo plus 12. Right? As Chris Berman would say, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo plus 12 on the road at New England. Over under is 47 points. We're taking the over. This game is going to be high scoring, back and forth. You heard it from me first. Enjoy this one, boys and girls, and other people who have alternate gender identities. Next, we've got Jacksonville at San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo is my new best friend. Diehard 49ers fan here, my whole life. As you can see, Joe Montana. Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe in you. You are my hero, and you will bring the 49ers to the promised land. We are taking the 49ers plus 4.5 at home. Over under is 42. Jacksonville's got a very good defense. We're going to take the under of 42 and the 49ers at home. Jimmy Garoppolo, don't let me down. Next game, New York Giants at the Arizona Football Cardinals. I mean, what to make of this team? I don't know. What to make of the Giants? I really don't want to pick this, but I picked the Giants before, and I guess I will reluctantly stay on the Giants at plus 3.5. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I already said it. Taking the Giants plus 3.5 on the road. Over under is 40. We're going over. Eli Manning is going to score touchdowns. Blaine Gabbert, touchdowns. Probably score, 41, 42 points this game, at least. I honestly don't know, but I'm taking the over here. I think both defense aren't great. I think Giants have like one of the worst defenses, actually. Someone's got to score. We're going over. All right, next we got Seattle. Seattle Seahawks that got blown out horribly by the Rams against the surging Dallas Cowboys, trying to make a last season-ending push for the playoffs. Trying to find the right words here. Seattle looked horrible last week. Their defense is decimated. They're embarrassed. I don't know what to make of this team. Like, are they collapsing at the end of the season, or was that not the Seattle Seahawks that we all know and love? And is the 12th man going to go on the road and help the Seattle Seahawks win this game against the Dallas Football Cowboys? This line started at -2.5 for the Cowboys. It is now -5. Cowboys are a public team, or the public team. There's probably no team in football more beloved or hated, well, except maybe the New England Patriots, than the Dallas Cowboys. So the lines are almost always inflated. This game probably should be Dallas -3, maybe -4. The fact that they're -5 is very interesting. Is it because Ezekiel Elliott's coming back? Possibly. I could give him a big push. Or is it because everyone and their mom loves the Dallas Cowboys, including my mom? Well, we're taking Seattle. We're going to take the points, +5. I really don't believe they're as bad as they looked last week. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to come to play. The winner of this will still be in the race for the NFC playoffs. So I don't know if Seattle has enough to win it, but I think it's going to be close. Russell Wilson will put this team on his back, carry them possibly to victory. I mean, who ekes out wins better than Russell Wilson? No one. I mean, he's the best, except for maybe Tom Brady, but he's pretty freaking good. All right, so we got Seattle +5, over-unders 47. We're going to take the under. Seattle's going to have to keep it close to win at the end. Of course, it could go over, but we're taking the under here. 47 points. All right, now we got Pittsburgh at Houston. Houston looked horrendous last week. My word, Jacksonville just steamrolled them. What an embarrassment. Pittsburgh could have beat the Patriots at home. Some would say they got robbed. Some said, maybe they just didn't execute properly, got a little unlucky. Either case, they had him on the ropes without Antonio Brown. Incredible. Well, they're going to face Houston again without Antonio Brown, and they're still favored by 9 points. This is really tough because Houston looks so bad. Just absolutely horrible. But Pittsburgh often does not play well on the road. I don't know why. They just don't play well on the road. With Antonio Brown, I would take Pittsburgh in a heartbeat, -9. But I just feel Houston, this is just how it works. You look so bad one week, and the next week you come and then you play. All right, who am I kidding? We're taking Pittsburgh -9. We're taking the over 44. The last week left a bitter taste in their mouth. They're going to run up the score, lay this one to rest as best they can. They're beating Houston with or without Antonio Brown. You heard it from me first. All right, last game, Monday Night Football. We got the Oakland Raiders against the Philadelphia Eagles. Oakland Raiders, heartbreaking loss to Dallas with the index card rule. Never seen that one before, but that's how it goes. And then Derek Carr fumbled out of the end zone on the 1 yard line for a touchback, ending the game. What a finish. Philadelphia, backup quarterback Nick Foles finds a way to get it done against the Giants. Now they're at home, -8.5. Philadelphia should win this one very easily, especially with Oakland having nothing to play for. And Philadelphia still, I believe, has to bye for the first or second seed. I think they might already have a bye clinched. If that's the case, if Philadelphia already has a bye clinched, I'm going to go with Oakland plus 8.5 points. And the over-under is 47.5. This one is going to go over, folks. Over 47.5. You heard it from me first. Monday Night Football, that usually goes over. Last week it didn't, but I had it called. I had the under last week. Philadelphia's got great offense. Oakland, they struggled a little bit. Offense is still pretty good. It's Monday Night Football. You can't go out and embarrass yourself on Monday Night Football. You got to play hard. Oakland, +9. Or is it plus 8.5? It just changed. Plus 8.5. We're still taking them. And the over, 47.5. I like the over on this one. All right. Those are my picks this week. Hope you enjoyed them, everyone. All 10 of you last week who watched. I appreciate you. Hopefully I can, win more for you guys. I think we're on the right track. Bitcoin. I do not know what's going on with Bitcoin. There's crazy hysteria about buying Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if it's gone cold or what. This is what I think, okay? But don't listen to me. What do I know? I think cryptocurrency is here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Probably the next 10, 15, 20 years. We're probably going to have it. It's probably going to become more established as some form of trade or medium. However, I do feel that Bitcoin may not be the best cryptocurrency in the long run. Currently, it's very slow to process transactions compared to some other cryptocurrencies. I hear it's like about a minute and a half. And its usefulness is limited. It really is just a form of transaction that is, on the blockchain as public record. It doesn't have any other platform to build upon, whereas I believe Ethereum does, where it can actually be an application platform where you can build upon it. And I think the most common example they give with Ethereum is that you can sign documents or sign ledgers and have people co-verify, and you can have it verify that it's your imprint or signal, and it's all in the blockchain, so it's all there. So there's like ways to, it actually has use outside of just, numbers for transacting money. You can do that with Ether and Ethereum. You can do it with any of the other 100 plus, maybe 1,000 plus cryptocurrencies now. Everyone has an initial coin offering trying to get money. I just read this article about some guy selling Chuck E. Cheese tokens on the street in New York and made over $1 million because he claimed it was Bitcoins. People actually bought enough of them for him to make $1 million, which is insane. So if people are handing you $20,000 on the street for a Chuck E. Cheese token because they want to get a Bitcoin, it's a bubble. I hate to break it to you. It's definitely a bubble, especially if there's no other use for it. I mean, it's like buying gold, but you don't even get to look at the shiny gold. So, does Bitcoin have a use? Yes, I think it does. I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere anytime soon. But I do not believe that Bitcoin will be the winner or the best cryptocurrency, when the dust settles. That's what I think. We'll see. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again. That's my 2 cents. Or my 2, what is it, Satoshis? What is it? What is Satoshi? I think that's what a fraction of a Bitcoin is, a Satoshi. My 2 Satoshis. All right, that's my football picks, my input on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. That's all I got for you guys this week. If you like it, comment below, subscribe. If you don't like it, well, thanks for listening and watching this far. And, feel free to comment in ways I can improve. All right. Talk to you guys later.